Hey everybody, welcome to part 39 of drawing the lotus pod in graphite. And I've finished off the stem as per the last video. And I'm going to come in now and just to explain what I've done. Predominantly 4H and 4B and 2B through here, with a bit of B to the sides, a bit of B on the left. I've tried to, vary the shadow a little bit, so, as it's sort of twisting and turning, and there's a little less highlight as you get down to the bottom of the stem. I think I can still knock that back a bit, and I'd probably do that with some H's, H, maybe even HB. But that gives you an idea of where I'm taking it. Now, I just want to show you I've done a little bit more work on the leaf. I've added some pencil under here to help to give it some form and isolate this highlighted edge, and I've just knocked back some of the lighter bits on this sort of shriveling bit of leaf that's hanging onto the collar. What else? I think that's about it for there. So now I'm going to continue on something that we did in class, and sort of get the tops of these lotus seeds finished, and just start accentuating the shadows on either side of the seeds. Okay, so I'm just wondering, do I do it on that side? And I'm thinking I might. Right, okay, I hope that's not too difficult for you to follow. I'm going to come in with, let's come in with a colour. Another light colour. Yeah, maybe two. Oh, no, maybe this is good. Okay, so I'm going to be focusing on, especially on this half of the pod, these cast shadows, which we've already put down, but making them a lot darker. And then these areas around the pod, which will help define these edges, which I've been calling sunken lounge. Okay, so really get those happening, and then also making these stems, or the tops of these seeds, start to pop by making them a bit darker. Okay, so let's get started. Now, so it's a case of using 4Bs, 2Bs and Bs. And let's come in with 2B. I'm going to come in with 2B. I better sharpen my pencil. Sorry, I should have done it earlier. Okay, beautiful. And get that sharpening on the emery paper. Okay. Get some paper towel or some cloth under your hand, and get my digital file up and turn it on its side, and off we go. This is another good example of the digital files being really handy for this work. So I'm using a really sharp 2B pencil, and working on, this is a combination of, I'm worried that's looking a little bit flat, cast shadow and reflected. Cast shadow and a little bit of sunken lounge going on in there. I'm just going to that's a bit better. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. One down. Probably about 20 to go. Now, the darkest area is sort of right in the, where the seed meets the pod surface, and then it gently comes out like so. Okay. And this is a classic case of what you do around something is as important as the thing itself, i.e. the negative space, which is the space around the seeds, is as important as the positive space which the seeds occupy. Okay, so I'm not using a lot of pencil. What I like about this kind of work is it's very gentle, and it just takes a little bit to make it happen. So I'm doing fine little dashes, and that's another one. And another one. And you've got to look at each seed individually, so don't just do the same shadow marks all the way along. Okay, it's otherwise it just will look very samey. Now I'm putting in the odd little bit of shadow on there to just, because I can see it. Now, as we move along, some of these shadows are getting less distinctive. For example, this one. And you really need your magnifier for this. And this one. So it's really defining the bottom edge of the seed. Oh, we're into 9 minutes. So let's just turn this over. And you can see those shadows are starting to pop a bit more. Now as we move across to the left, there won't be those cast shadows. There's going to be more shadow on the pod itself and no shadow, very little to no shadow around it. So you can see it's at this point. So if I zoom out, you've got cast shadow, and then it's like the last third of the subject. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that don't have cast shadows, but you've got these ones are starting to have more shadow on the subject. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to finish these and then move straight on to those in the next video. Okay, bye for now.